for being here and for clicking on this video and choosing to practice with me today. My name is Ellie, as you probably know if you're here. We're going to do things a little bit different today. We're going to go through about a 30-minute flow. This vinyasa flow focuses on trying to ease any anxieties or fears or worries that we're holding trapped in the body. Okay, so we're going to be moving through a series of quite releasing and nurturing postures, moving super slow and mindfully. Before we do that though, we're going to just go through a couple of journaling prompts. Okay, obviously this is completely optional, this whole video is completely optional, but I would highly recommend it. Completely understandable if you've got a lot of crazy worries swirling around in your head right now. Yeah, it's easy to get stuck into that kind of internal spiral, feeling kind of helpless and stuck and trapped. But yeah, hopefully these little prompts will just maybe not even ease those anxieties, but putting pen to paper, I find super helpful. Okay, maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. Okay, but in times like this, hey, everything's worth trying, right? So, take a moment now to grab your journal or just a scrap bit of paper and a pen. Obviously, if you've got your phone as well, you can just utilise the notes section there. I don't find it as sort of therapeutic as actually putting pen to paper. But yeah, you use what you've got, see what works for you. Okay, and we've got 3 journaling prompts before we start to move through that nice, slow, releasing flow. Okay. So, if you need to pause, then come back to your mat, then do so. Or if you're super prepared, then we'll get straight into it. Okay, so you've got your journal, grab a pen, get comfy, get cozy. And we're just going to go through some prompts for sort of letting go. And if not letting go, then just sort of accepting any fears or worries that are going to be surfacing right about now. Okay. So to start with, we're gonna just take a moment, just take a minute, okay, to jot down the top fears, worries, or anxieties that you have right now. Okay. So as we're doing that, don't overthink it, okay, just put your pen to paper, see what comes out. Doesn't have to be sort of catastrophic worries. Okay, maybe you're worried about something tiny. Maybe you're worried about something huge, okay, like paying the mortgage, like paying your rent. Yeah, or maybe it's something really little. And it doesn't matter, okay, the first things that you think of, let's put pen to paper, let's get those written down. Again, this is a judgment-free zone, okay? It's just you writing, seeing what comes up in this minute or so that you dedicate to tuning in. And don't worry about those fears being rational or irrational. Okay, if they're fears that you're holding on to, then they're valid. Okay, it doesn't matter whether they be a concern of the person next to you, or your friends, or your family. Okay, if it's something that's on your heart, then that's valid. Okay, so write it down. Okay. So we should have a couple of worries jotted down there. Maybe some of us are still frantically writing. Okay, we can always come back. Okay, we've got the main things just out on paper. Okay, now maybe we can do something about some of those worries. Some of them we won't have any control over, okay? So we're not writing these things down in order to fix them. Maybe it's just a case of becoming okay with it, yeah? Okay, that's important to know. Know the difference between the things that you can change and know the difference between the things that you can't change, all right? Now the next journaling prompt that we're going to go through is a little bit nicer, okay? So to counter the worries and fears that we've just jotted down, we're now going to list 5 things, spaces, places, people or activities that make you feel safe, okay? So again, pen to paper, 5 things. If you can think of more, fantastic. If you can't quite think of 5, then again, there's no sort of time limit on this. It's just something to work through. Okay, so 5 things, people, places, activities that make you feel safe. So maybe that's a person. Maybe it's you. Maybe you feel really safe in yourself right now. Okay, maybe it's an inanimate object. Okay, you might feel really safe in bed. You might feel really safe on the sofa or in your garden. Okay, whatever it is. Maybe stillness gives you a feeling of safety. Okay, maybe running makes you feel safe. Maybe yoga makes you feel safe. 5 things, places, or people that make you feel safe. Okay, we're going to move on to our 3rd and final journaling prompt. Okay, and this is my favourite one. Okay, so we've noted down some big worries or circling fears that we've got right now. And now hopefully we've noted down a couple of things that make us feel safe. The 3rd thing that we're going to briefly journal on is I want us to list 5 things that made you smile today. Okay, so if you're doing this practice in the evening, what 5 things happened throughout the course of today that made you smile? If you're doing this practice in the morning, then let's think back to yesterday. Okay, maybe it's a little bit early in the day. But 5 things that made you smile. And again, these can be huge things. Okay, or they can be tiny things. Maybe you saw a video that made you laugh. Great. Okay. Maybe you're surrounded by a super loving family and friendship network. That's huge. That's great. If that makes you smile, then note that down. Your pets, your home, your space, anything that's bringing a smile to your face, today or yesterday. 5 things at least. Let's note those down. And again, we can come back to those journaling prompts if you feel like you need to. Okay, so anytime. We've noted down our fears, any worries that we've got right now, the main ones, the ones that first spring to mind when you're asked that question. And then you've got the 2 things that counter those worries, okay? So we can't always make any immediate changes that are gonna ease or alleviate those concerns or anxieties, but we do have those lists to counter it, okay? So you've got those places that feel safe, those people that feel safe, and then you've got those things that are making you smile in spite of everything, okay? So, as we move through this practice, we're going to really think about embodying those feelings, okay? Those feelings of safety and those feelings of quiet joy, yeah? So a nice, mindful, slow practice to really try and soak in and absorb those feelings, okay? So that when those circling, vulture-like anxieties start to surface, then we can accept those, we can live with them because we know that we have those other areas where we feel safe and where we feel joy. Okay, I hope that makes some kind of sense. Maybe it doesn't, okay? It's all a practice. So with that in mind, we're going to start to move through our flow for this afternoon, or whatever time of day you are doing this, okay? As with any physical practice, make sure that you're listening to your own body first and foremost, okay? If something doesn't feel good to you, then wind it in. All right, but we're going to be moving really slowly, really mindfully through this entire practice today. We're going to start in a child's pose. Okay, so work your way toward the back of the mat. The knees are on the ground, the toes are untucked. The hips are going to come back to the heels. We're going to stretch the arms long and the forehead's going to come down to the earth. From here, we're going to close off the eyes and we're going to start to arrive into the body and connect to the breath. So seal in the mouth, close in the eyes. We're trying to send the hips as close to the heels as possible here. So we're really finding that length through the back. Maybe the forehead rests on the mat. Maybe it rests in the direction of the mat. From this position, we're going to start to walk the hands over to the left side of the room. Both heels stay close to the mat. Breathe in space and length into that right side body. Walk the hands back through center. We're going to come all the way across to the right side this time. Come back through center. This time spread your fingertips a little bit wider. And then press the fingertips down into the mat so that we're really gripping the earth here. On your next inhale, we're going to start to roll up through a tabletop kind of position. From here, dropping the pelvis toward the ground, opening the chest, gazing up. You can keep your eyes closed if you like. Working with the breath, we're going to find our way back. So exhaling, coming back through that tabletop, hips coming back toward the heels. Now a couple of rounds here. Inhale to round the spine and come up through a tabletop-like position, and then dropping the hips down toward the mat, lifting the chest, lifting the chin, gaze up. Exhale, roll it back. Now I want you to keep going here, sinking movement to breath, exaggerating this movement as much as you like. Okay, so inhale to come forward, take a big breath, fill the lungs, finish the inhale with the chest lifted, and then exhale to start to peel it back, sending the hips back toward the heels. We're going to stay here for a couple more rounds. You can add in any other movements that come naturally, anything that feels organic. You want to have a little wiggle side to side as you make your way through here. And next round we're going to meet back in a tabletop position. The back is nice and flat. Wrists, elbows and shoulders line up. Knees and hips line up. Knees and hips stay stacked here. We're going to start to walk the hands toward the top of the mat. The chest is lowering in the direction of the earth. Now maybe the chest comes all the way down. Maybe it doesn't, okay? Working with your own body. If you've got that space in the body to bring the chest all the way down, maybe it's the chin on the mat, maybe it's the forehead on the mat. Okay, see what feels good. Now bring the hands a little bit closer toward the body, just an inch or so. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the left. So try and keep the hips where they are. All the while we're breathing deep and full. Hands back through center, we're going to the other side. Hands back through center. And then start to walk them back up so that we're coming into a tabletop position. Okay, we're going to send a little bit of attention down into the hips now. So from this tabletop position, we're going to start by separating the knees mat width distance, okay? Now maybe this is enough for you today. Maybe you can start to slide the knees further apart, coming into this kind of frog position. So imagine you look down on your body from above. You kind of got that frog position going on with the legs. Maybe you're down on the forearms, maybe the chest comes down, forehead can rest on the hands. Now this can be a super intense posture. Often we're holding a lot of tension in the hips. Okay, so we've got a few breaths. So find your way here, however makes sense, okay? Find any variation that feels okay for you. All the while observing any thoughts, any feelings that arise. And then we're going to come back up. So here's the tricky part. Start by coming back up onto the hands if you lowered your forearms down. And then we're going to bring the feet together. You can tuck the toes straight away from here. We're going to find our way back to a downward facing dog. So moving your way into this posture, nice and slowly. Taking any movements that feel good. Maybe you want to come up onto the toes. Draw circles with the sit bones. Breathing deep and full. From downward facing dog, we're going to come up high onto the toes. From here, the chin is slightly tucked and we roll the body nice and slow all the way forward into a high plank position. From high plank, back to down dog. I'm going to back it up a little bit so that my head doesn't dive straight into that plant in front of me. Onto the toes, roll it forward. And coming back. Inhale to roll forward. Exhale to roll back. And then from this down dog, we keep the feet where they are. They should be about a hip width apart. Slowly walking the hands back to meet the feet. Find your passive forward fold. So the knees are as bent as they need to be for this to feel good. Head is heavy. Belly is folding over the thighs. Let's bring the chin to the chest and ever so slowly roll the body all the way up to a standing position. Okay, if you feel like you need to shake it off here, then do so. Shaking through the arms, twisting through the body. Okay, now we're going to come into a short balancing sequence. Okay, just to really ground down into the body. Nothing crazy, don't worry. Take the weight in the right leg. We're lifting the left knee up in front of the body, bringing the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Finding our tree variation. Hands come to a prayer position at heart center. So in this tree posture, we want to make sure that we're not placing this left foot onto the knee joint, okay? It wants to come either above, or if that's too difficult today, then below, okay, onto the shin. Hands to heart center. Couple of breaths, finding your balance. If you wobble out of this, then just meet us back here, okay? We're not going anywhere, not just yet. Now listen carefully. The left foot is going to come away from the right thigh. The left knee is bent in front of the body again. We're going to find a high lunge. So very mindfully, we're going to start to step that left leg back. Bending into the front knee, left toes find the earth. Arms to the sky, find that high lunge. Breathe deep here. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Big step forward, left foot meets the right, forward fold. In this forward fold, let's clasp the hands together at the base of the spine and then squeeze shoulders together. Find that opening through the heart space. Release your grip of the hands, fingertips float down to the floor, chin to chest, let's peel it up. Super nice. Guess what we're going to do on the other side? Okay, tree variation. So left leg is strong. Bringing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Again, if this is a little bit too much, then bring your foot down to the inside of the left shin. Okay? Choice is yours. Find your balance and find your breath. Focus on that balance. Use your breath to stabilize yourself. Okay, we're going to go the same this side. So, the right foot comes away from the left leg. The right knee is bent in front of the body. Very slowly with control. Right toes are going to find the back of the mat as we bend into the left leg. When we get the arms to the sky, big breath, fill the lungs, high lunge. Exhale, dive it back down. This time stepping the left foot back to meet the right. Knees come down to the mat. Lower the rest of the body all the way down. Untuck the toes, breathe in, find your cobra variation. Exhale, roll down. We're staying on the belly. Okay, hands should be under the shoulders. Now we're going to step the hands a couple of palm prints away from the body. Okay? Come up onto the fingertips, elbows to the ceiling. Big breath in to peel up. Open the chest, gaze up. Exhale, roll back down. We're going to go 2 more times just through center. Inhale, roll up. Squeezing the glutes, rooting the pubic bone down. Exhale, roll. Last time, big inhale. Exhale, down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes. We're going to find downward facing dog, however makes sense to you. Gaze can be to the navel or between the feet. And then very slowly and mindfully, the right foot is going to make its way toward the top of the mat. If you need to rest a little there, then do that. Okay, left knee's going to come down, untucking the left toes. Coming into that low lunge shape. Left fingertips toward the earth. If they don't quite reach, that's okay, let it hover. Right arm goes up and over, side stretch. Through center, side bend, other side, left arm up and over. Back through center. Both arms come up, breathing. Exhale, hands come down, frame that front foot, lift the left toes, lift the left knee, big step forward, find a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straight legs, flat back. Plant the palms, step it back, downward facing dog. Now for the other side, nice mindful movement as the left foot comes all the way to the top of the mat, between the hands. Again, if you need to wrestle, then wrestle. Right knee lowers down, right toes untuck, finding that low lunge. Let's find a side bend here. Right fingertips toward the earth. Left arm up and over. Really think about creating space in the body. Other side, coming through center. Left fingertips come toward the ground. Right arm is up and over. Back through center. Big breath in, arms to the ceiling. Exhale, come down, frame the front foot, tuck the right toe, lift the right knee. This time step left foot back to meet the right. Lower the knees, lower the rest of the body. Breathe in to find your cobra. And exhale, turn it back downward, facing dog. From this down dog, knees come to the earth. This time separate the mat width apart, untuck the toes, hips back to heels. Find that child's pose. Now with the forehead resting on the earth or toward the earth, let's turn our attention fully back to the breath. Okay, so find that inhale and find that exhale. And notice any sensations around the body. Notice any sensations in the mind. Notice any thought processes. Observe anything that's sort of whirling around the head right now. And if you find yourself in those sort of anxiety spirals, in that place of worry, just see if you can cast your mind back to those spaces, those people, those feelings of safety, and those pockets of joy. Try and bear them in mind and know that they're there. Try and use them as a bit of an anchor when everything in the mind starts getting a little bit wild. And from this child's pose, we're going to start to walk the hands back toward the body so that we come to a kneeling position. You can keep the knees as they are, or you can bring them together. Entirely up to you. Inhale, arms rise. As we exhale, left arm goes behind you, right arm goes in front. We're finding a rotation through the mid-body. Inhale, back up. Twisting the other side, left arm in front, right arm behind. Again, rotation from the waist. Inhale, rise. One more time, either side. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands come down to the earth, come up onto the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Let's come back to those body rolls, okay? We want to really start to find that healthy flow of energy around the body. So onto the toes, chin comes slightly to chest, peel the body forward into a high plank, and then send it back. So work with your breath here, okay? Find your own primal movement coming forward. Couple more rounds. Coming to meet back in a down dog position. Breathe in, right leg goes to the sky. Let's take a sweep up. And then bringing that right knee to rest on the mat behind the right wrist. Slide the left leg back and long. We're going to find our pigeon variation here, okay? So, take a moment to settle in. We want the hips to stay square to the front of the mat. Come up onto your fingertips to begin. Big deep breaths. When you're ready, you can start to fold the body down. Maybe come to the forearms. Maybe come all the way down, forehead to the earth. If you want to grab a cushion, then you can. We're going to hang out here for a few breaths, not minutes, don't worry. You can use this time to do all those inner observations. Notice where you're at. Notice the kind of thought processes you've been having right now. When you're ready, start to bring the body all the way back up. Chest lifts. Tuck the left toe under, root down through the hands. Let's find down dog. Inhale, left leg rises, take a sweep up and then left knee settles down behind the left wrist. Right leg slides long. Coming into side number 2 again, taking some breaths to really root down. Notice the points of contact between your body and the earth. Now when you're practicing this at home, again, God, cushions are so versatile. You can maybe, if you're working with a bit more sort of tightness around the hip area, you can always prop one side of your body up with a cushion. Okay, you can make it a little bit more comfortable. And again, if you want to rest your head down, then we can do that. You can come onto your forearms. We're going to stay with the breath. A perfect opportunity to do some reflection. Where's your head at? Chest back up, opening the body up again, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, root through the hands, downward facing dog. Lowering the knees down to the earth, finding that tabletop position. Couple of rounds of cat-cow here. So let's make sure we've got our alignment bang on. Wrists, elbows, shoulders in a line, knees and hips in a line. Big breath in, lift the hips, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale to dome through the upper back, pull the tailbone under, draw the belly in. And inhale, let's go, arch in the back, your breath, your movement. Adding in any organic movement, again, this is your practice. Find your own flow and connecting it to your own breath. Finding that peace and stability and comfort in your own body. Finally leaning back in a child's pose, hips back to heels. This time, forehead stays toward the earth. Take a bend at the elbow here, bring the hands to a prayer position. Thumbs come to the back of the skull, creep the elbows forward, and find that opening. Let the hands float back down to the earth, walk the hands back toward the knees and let the body come upright. We're in a kneeling position here. We're just going to give some love to the neck area, okay? So nice straight spine, arms down by the side of the body. Close off the eyes and tilt the left ear down toward the left shoulder. Keeping the shoulders rolled down and away so that we maintain that length. Now if your neck feels okay to do so, bring the chin to the chest, rolling the neck forward, so rolling the head forward, right ear comes to meet right shoulder. One more time to the left. One more time to the right. Chin back to chest. And then lifting the head back up, chin parallel to the ground. Cactus the arms by the side of the body. Big breath in, opens the chest. Big exhale, close it off. Bring the forearms together, protecting yourself. Inhale to open. Open for love, open for joy, and exhale to close off, protecting yourself. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Keeping it going with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. This time as we inhale, palms stay together, they go straight up to the sky. As we exhale, twist to the left, left arm behind, right arm in front, inhale back to the sky. Exhale to the right, left arm in front, right arm behind. Inhale back up. Exhale, let the arms come down by the side of the body. Close off the eyes, take a couple of breaths. If it's starting to really suck being on your knees, then just come down to sit on your bum. So the breath's in and out through the nose, and again we're bringing our awareness back to that inner chatter. Take a big cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh through the mouth. Opening the eyes, final downward facing dog. Grip the earth with the hands, tuck the toes. Sit bones to the ceiling. Five breaths here, any movement that feels good. We're going to find our way to a seated position. Maybe you want to step between the hands, maybe you want to float between the hands. Doesn't matter how we get there, we're all coming down to sit on our butt. If you want to sit on a cushion, then feel free. We're going to find a cross-legged position, okay? Whatever is sort of comfortable for you. If cross legs isn't comfortable, then find another way to sit, okay? No rules here. Hands come to the knees. Closing down the eyes once more. Focusing on the breath. Allowing the body to rise on every in-breath and sink, soften on every out-breath. Let's start to think about the journaling that we started this practice with. Think about the things that are worrying you, any fears that you have. And again, moving your body isn't going to make those go away. All we can ever hope to do is gain a little bit of perspective. But it's important to know the difference between the worries that we can shift and the things that we can't. And hopefully we can use those places and feelings of safety and joy to balance things out. So we're going to bring both hands to a prayer position at heart center. And if you want to drop down into a nice long shavasana now, then please feel free. Maybe you want to go back to your journal. Maybe some other bits and pieces have come up that you want to write down. Or maybe you're done, and that's fine as well. So we're going to take a big cleansing breath to close this practice. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh through the mouth. And with your thumbs rooting into your sternum, may all that we be and all that we do come from a place of kindness and light. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Bowing the forehead down to the fingertips. Lift the head, open the eyes, and smile. Namaste. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you made it this far through, awesome work. Let me know how you get on with your journaling. It's a tool that I've found endlessly useful at varying times of my life. And yeah, try and keep quite consistent with it. It's super useful for noticing those kind of reoccurring patterns and anything you're trying to break or crack. And yeah, sometimes it's just nice to put it on the page and yeah, get a bit more insight into what's going on. So yeah, I hope you found that useful. Feel free to let me know either way. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're safe. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.